We have got a very special presentation for you. I've got one question to ask you though, Harry, before we get into it.
Yeah, go on.
Are you a goated Sigma Rizzler with a skibbity giat, or do you simply touch grass?
I'm not much of a grass toucher. I got that skibbity riz and the Giak pulling up.
Okay, well, if you understood any of that, I have bad news for you at home. You might be suffering from brain rot, which is going to be today's topic as we move into the presentation format here. The question is, what is brain rot and how does it affect EPL Season 20? Now, Harry, you can see some of the more famous brain rot characters here. Anything leaping off the page for you? Anyone you really are a fan of?
There's a couple of good ones here. Grimace, most notably. I like that. I like that whole.
He got a shout out in the previous map. That
Grimace
just goes to show you how deep the brain rot goes here at EPL.
Tuah. I know it's
Tuah. Oh, we got a crowd as well.
Hello. We got a crowd.
We're here. Let's go. We got our boys over to the sofa. Let's get into it, shall we?
What the fuck?
So I got a quote from Josh earlier from Valorant. He said, "You describe the state of a person losing touch with the real world as a result of consumption of meaningless, chronically online, hyper-stimulating content." Would you say that's a fair assessment from Josh?
I love being hyper-stimulated. I am chronically online, and I consume a lot of meaningless stuff. So I would say this is pretty good.
So that's spot on from Josh Nissan from Valorante, as it's called. The definition, of course, we just covered that. It's basically consuming useless media that provides no education, no real benefit to the human mind. It actually makes things worse for you, and it's addicting and difficult to separate yourself once you get into it, Harry.
Oh my God. They're actually breaking it down very well.
Alpha, and obviously with that, you can even look a little bit further back and look at Gen Z. Is there something I know?
Let's have a look at that.
I think maybe taking a look at when these things occur is probably a good idea, right? So when we say Gen Z, we're talking Zoomers, like 1997 to 2012.
Chad, you've been called a boomer before, right?
I don't think I fit into the boomer category.
That's what I'm saying. People at our age, they'll get called boomers. But it wouldn't be accurate. A boomer has to be from 1946 to 1964. Generation X, moving on. My generation, millennials, in my opinion, the best. Harry,
Agreed.
Kind of the most sensible at this point. I'd say kind of looking forward to actually running the world soon. Then we got the Zoomers, which you fall into, I believe.
No.
Are you a millennial as well?
Actually, no, I would be a Zoomer.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
You were born in 2004, right, Harry?
98.
But the brain rot comes from Generation Alpha. I believe this chart might be slightly off. I think it's from 2006 onwards is Generation Alpha. But anyone who's basically an iPad baby, do you know what that means?
Yeah.
You won one of those,
No,
right?
I was not
Anyone
an
who was
iPad
raised with the parents that's like, you know what, that crying's in my head in. I want to have a nice meal.
Well,
I want to have a nice time.
Cocoa melon.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they do.
Yeah, exactly. And you're playing like your Subway
Good old
servers, you're
Cocoa
enjoying your
Melon,
iPad,
bro.
you're watching your YouTube shorts, your YouTube Kids, etc. Let's move on. Classic examples of brain rot here. We got the Grimace milkshake, Riz, of course, Skibbity toilets, Harry. Big favorite.
Ohio.
Sigma, Giat, these are kind of staples, ASMR.
And as you can see, I've got the logos of TikTok and YouTube Shorts there, kind of like the ground zero of brain rot, I would say. That's when it really started to come into its own.
Bro,
so those are kind of the classic examples. Now, Harry, you've got a lot of Riz. Everyone knows it, but what does it take to have Riz in this day and age?
Well, it was one that kind of sprung onto the screen. Essentially, it was short for charisma, and so it was this idea: if you've got Riz, you have some degree of charm about you to kind of entice people onto your side.
It was such a massive hit that it was the Oxford Dictionary's Word of the Year in 2023. It's now in the dictionary, Chad. What do you think about that?
I want to know who's got the most Riz out of the caster group.
I would say Stunner.
Stunner has the most Riz.
Riz. Yeah, right now, at this moment, I got more Riz than I know what to do with, obviously. Like, look at this.
Say what you want about him and his bald head.
Yeah, what's up now, Jason? You ain't getting it clean like this now, are you, boy?
Moving on. Skibbity, I have to say, it's not a content I've consumed. Not much like I can really report on it. Do you have more insight?
So what I would say with Skibbity, for anyone that's maybe from the other generations,
is it like a skid mark in the toilet?
No, firstly, Skibbity comes from the Skibbity toilet viral video, which was a
11-second video.
They made a skit about you.
Singing head coming out of the toilet. But the way that I can describe this is it's using Gary's Mod assets akin to the old, older terminology here, kind of like the YouTube poops of old. The same sort of vein where we had the Shrek, this is my swamp, and things like that. It's now kind of evolved into the Skibbity toilet.
It's the next level, isn't it? It's the evolution of previous memes that Dave's gone by. So that's Skibbity covered. Sigma, I'm sure you all know what this means. Chad, you know the Sigma.
What is going on in the laptop, bro?
Yourself, you're working out.
I need the definition of the word.
You're kind of like someone who stays in their own lane, someone who's grinding for a better future for them and their family.
The next level of alpha.
And kind of consider themselves to be an alpha male.
Okay. I wouldn't call myself
It's more humble than an alpha male, but it's kind of the same sort of category, kind of in your own lane.
Yeah,
kind of
you're like grinding for you and yourself instead of like, you're not like necessarily leading the group per se. You're kind of on the grind.
Okay.
Aura, you must have heard of Aura, Chad.
Aura.
Well, this is in like Dota. Like my character may have like an aura.
Not.
No, the team that I don't think they really have. Result was there.
Kind
Aurora,
of a mixture of charisma, kind of a mixture of confidence. If someone has good aura, it means when they enter the room, when they actually present themselves, you feel like that guy, he's a successful dude. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, I actually feel like you have aura.
I have a bit of aura.
I don't think you have Riz per se, but you have aura.
No, I don't think I'm quite awkward for Riz, but in terms of aura, people like to be around me, right? So that's basically what aura is. Not the best dude, not saying that, but I do. I'm told that I have some aura. Giats. Stunner, do you want to say what this one is about, perhaps? I heard you shouting it.
Oh, sure, man. I mean, I might as well. We're already here, and I
already
know the way that I do, so we might as well tell you about the Giat. Now, here is what you need to know. This term can be used to describe someone with a voluptuous rear end, a derriere.
Posterior.
Posterior,
or used as a short form of the term. Goddamn.
Damn, yeah. Well,
I see.
I just wanted to cover the top 5 of the most used terms right now, just so we can set the baseline.
Yep.
So this is where Brainrot really came from originally. Like I said, YouTube Shorts and TikTok. On the screen on the left, are you familiar with Subway Surfers?
I am.
This is where it really began. We had mixtures of Subway Surfers, Family Guy clips, and then ASMR / kind of soap cutting videos all in one, just so you can consume as much media as possible because your brain is so broken, you need to be distracted and stimulated at all times.
Yeah, obviously the Subway Surfers trend was one that really caught on platforms like TikTok. People would show kind of text interactions that they were having, maybe something like they were breaking up with their long-term partner, and as they're doing that, they might like pan out of it and then play Subway Surfers.
I see,
to kind of keep the viewer retention going. And then over on the right, we have a real colorful cast of characters from the various YouTube shorts and YouTube videos that have come to really exemplify Brainrot.
Bro, that's Elsa.
Mainly aimed at
this is
Spider-Man.
The main offender in all of this is TikTok and YouTube Kids. It was around before YouTube Shorts started, and the YouTube Kids' main offense was the fact that they auto-played videos after you'd watched like a 5-second piece of content. You keep continually watching different stuff.
You might remember if I say mystery surprise egg, you might know what that means.
Hey,
and
Graham,
that was very, very big, was opening the mystery surprise eggs, and so it kind of went on from there.
So, esports are starting to be affected by Brainrot in general. There are a couple of games that it's too late for. We're trying to fix Counter-Strike. So, Valorante, as Josh mentioned, too far gone. There's no way we can bring them back.
Same with the other one down
Fortnite is a kid's game, to be fair, so it's kind of understandable.
That is like Brainrot Deluxe.
Yeah, but Travis Scott's over there.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we kind of all kicked off. We wanted to avoid that in Counter-Strike, though, but we are seeing signs of it coming into our game. This is a crosshair spotted out in matchmaking right now. You can see you've got the Subway Surfers, you've got all sorts of games, you've got ASMR content, you've got soap cutting videos into the crosshair. So although it looks like a lot of fun, Harry, a little bit distracting, I don't want to see my teammates using that.
No, it would very much get in the way. It's overstimulating by its nature, but that's kind of the idea. It keeps the attention, I guess, focused on the center of the screen.
I don't want to rush the presentation, but do we have a way to cure Counter-Strike individuals impacted by Brainrot?
All we can do is raise awareness of this.
That's what we're
All we can do is raise awareness of the Brainrot.
So we can keep going, I think, Hank.
Disclaimer as well, just to be clear, the irony is not lost on me that I'm a 36-year-old man explaining Brainrot to my friends. I know this is like a weird thing to be doing, and I'm probably the worst person to explain it all. If anything, I didn't want to do this. My friends and colleagues suggested I should bring this forward, and if anything, that says it all. It
Are you
says where I
impacted
am
by
in life.
Brainrot?
Sorry?
Are you impacted by Brainrot?
Actually, unfortunately, I think I am. So this is not so much a presentation, it's more of a cry for help. I would say, help me. I shouldn't be like this. I used to be so young and talented and capable, and now look at me, I'm making skibbity toilet presentations
It's pretty good, though.
It's pretty good. Now,
Nora got me my birthday gift, and I got an alert from our bank chat.
Of course, they have infiltrated EPL.
I told her that I knew what she got me because the bank ratted her out. She texted me back, L Bank. I knew at that moment we were fucked.
It was originated with a TikTok video created by AJ and Big Justice, a father-son duo in 2024. And they were, of course, their catchphrase were Costco Guys. Of course, we go shopping while eating a chicken bake. Now, a chicken bake is just a pastry available within Costco. I believe it's very cheap, very tasty.
Fire, by the way.
They were just very happy with the deals, and unfortunately for them, or fortunately, I suppose, they started an online series where they kind of just went around the store explaining what things they liked, and they created a whole cinematic universe around the concept of Costco.
Can you hit that last line?
We're Costco guys. Of course, we had to try the new double chunk chocolate cookie.
There you go. It's perfect. You might have heard this.
Just to know as well, up here we've got the Rizzler on the top left. He's one of my favorite characters. He's actually taking over the show from Big Justice, honestly. We've got Cousin Angelo as well. He's always hosting a piece of provolone. What's that smell, Cousin Angelo? It's a piece of provolone, which is one of my favorite catchphrases. I think that's a lot of fun. But yeah, shout out to the Costco guys. They're kind of taking over the show right now.
Doing a lot of crossover stuff now, kind of that big money
working
coming
with
in.
Wrestling teams and sports teams, and they actually got official collaborations with Costco. So we're actually happy to have them part of the show. We kind of bring them in as like we're Counter-Strike guys, etc., etc. We've done that. It's a lot of fun. What have I got here? I did have a little video. I just think this maybe kind of demonstrate the point here. Is there sound? Maybe there's a bit of sound. There's no sound.
I see. Okay.
Here we go. Let's start it again. Here we go.
We're Costco guys. Of course we go shopping while eating a chicken bake.
We're Costco guys. Of course we had to try the new double chunk chocolate cookie.
Of course. How fun this
is? Of course we have to
What's
try
the point of this?
There's no point. There's a bit of fun.
We're Costco
having
guys.
a bit of fun.
Of course we work out with the tires.
Matt, look at that. Working out with tires.
Why is it getting louder? What's happening?
What the heck is this thing?
Anyway, you get the idea. I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love it.
We're Costco.
How do I move on? Right, here we go. And now, another main event, Harry. I'll let you do the introduction to this one because it's a banger. It gets a mention every single map, every single segment. Tell us about the Hawk Tuah.
Okay, so this is a pretty new phenomenon. It was a man on the street style YouTube channel.
Could have been you, Trace.
Could have been me. Could have been anyone.
Been traced, but it wasn't. It was Tim and DTV, and they were interviewing Haley Welch, and she essentially was asked a bunch of not safe for work questions.
What was the main question though?
And they said, "What's the one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?" And then Welch's reply in a southern twang accent, which is important.
You gotta give him that Hawk Tuah. Spit on that thing.
There you go.
That's exactly what she did.
Dead on. Yeah.
And she became a global phenomenon, right?
That's kind of the illusion there was, as you can read, Trace. So what's like the implication?
I don't think I should continue
you
down
can
this
see it
path.
on the screen. We don't need to read it out.
We don't have to read everything. That's the point of
you
it.
can
use your imagination.
What it's supposed to mean. It's a bit of a joke. I don't think she's really talking about that. I think she's having a good time. She seems like a sweetheart.
Yeah.
And I think it's a very funny meme. We say like,
and the podcast just launched.
Talk
but also, I'll pause you guys right here because she also went and did positive things.
Exactly.
With her.
So with no hate for Haley, I think she's doing good work out there.
Yeah. And the podcast, all the best.
Wish her all the best if she wants to.
Talk to her. I hope it pops off.
Maybe she'd like to do like a phone in one day to even out, or maybe get her involved in the show. Talk to her. We have a promotion.
There's the offer.
There it is. It's available if you'd like it, Haley.
I think that's the name of a podcast, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm running a fl0m size ad. Hopefully, you don't have ad block, so you don't have to watch this.